Hello, listeners. Welcome back to the Dream Stream. I'm Yiskah Cook with Ellen Ronas, fellow dream workers, and we are working on our dream of Ellen's today. Hello, Ellen. For a change.
For a change.
I love it. Celebrate your
my prolific dream life.
Yes.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Yeah.
So we were remembering that last time Ellen did 2 dreams. The second one has a lot of interest for me, but maybe we'll be referring back to it. But we're going to do 2 fresh dreams, hot off the presses.
And just to say, I think I really want to get what you were also sharing some dreams, if you'd like to, like just the flavor of them or the dreams themselves, because I think those were really significant as well. It's up to you.
Very, very significant to me. I think I want to write about them. So okay. I don't want to then first speak about them.
Gotcha.
But I think that, they'll come around. What I do want to talk about is the theme. That those 3 dreams, 3 nights of having a similar theme in the dreams. So that's what I'm very interested in now. I want to look at a couple weeks of dreams, see what is the theme. Now I want to start looking at them as a whole.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And that's what I was just saying to you earlier, is that these 2 dreams that I'm going to share, they're quite different in, environment and flavor and people and who's in them and stuff. But in my heart, in my feeling world, it's like, oh, there's something cooking, there's something brewing, and it feels like there's, something connected somehow.
Yeah, so let's try to reflect on that as we go through the dream stream today.
Yeah, perfect. I like that. Great. Now, shall I share the one I had most recently first and then the one before, or in the order in which they happened?
I'm going to say dreamer's choice.
Okay. I'm going to go for the one that I just had like a few hours ago.
Yes.
So I'm going to just see if I can remember it. It's always better for me if I can speak it from.
And Robert Moss always recommended that.
Yeah, to not read it. To not read it.
It's more of the story. And that's why we do present tense, first person, when we can remember too.
Yes. Let me see if I can remember most of it. I think I can. So let me just see where it starts out. Yeah. Okay. I am on a large, I'm saying in quotes, plot of land near a body of water. The reason I'm saying it in quotes is because it wasn't really land. It was a platform, like maybe 8 inches tall and just a big open wooden platform, but it was enormous. And part of this was ours, which was mine and Tim's. Tim is my ex-husband, for those of you who don't know. And he it comes into my dreams extremely often, 9-10 years after even our marriage. So we're on this plot of land, and it doesn't have walls and it doesn't have a roof, but it's sort of divided into different homes. Different people live there. And I noticed that in our neighbor's kind of area was a potter. And so I felt like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be fun because I'm living near an artist, near a potter, and I'm a potter also. And I did notice that it was a him, and his space was very dark and kind of messy. So the pottery studio was dark and messy. That's really significant for me. But anyway, that's happening over there. But I'm having the feeling that, oh, that's cool, because we're going to live near artists, And then a woman comes in from somewhere else, another little plot of land, like one of our other neighbors. And she looks very bawdy, like from the 1800s, with the big layers of skirts and low cut kind of bodice and
ample bosom.
Ample bosom, for sure. And she's trying to tell, this was hard to write because she's trying to tell me, oh, well, Yeah, like as far as you can throw a stone, you're gonna hit an artist, which is what people say about Santa Fe.
Okay.
In other words, they're everywhere, so don't make that a big deal. To me, it was like, oh, that's so cool. But she was using her breasts as an example, like, oh, if I have someone here and then there's someone here, and then like I couldn't understand exactly, but somehow she was using her breasts as an illustration of that point where, if you throw a stone, you're going to hit an artist or a healer kind of thing. So that was that. Then I'm sitting on a couch that is sort of a orangey gold color with deep turquoise furnishings like rugs and pillows and stuff. And I'm filling out a form that is for some kind of an art training, an art program. But I get stuck on someone, like I didn't understand what they needed. So I call Tim over and he comes behind me and I hold up the paper to him so he can see it. But I knew exactly how far away to hold the page for him so that he could read it, because he didn't have his glasses on. And it was so sweet. Like it was so sweet to me that we knew each other so well that I knew that, okay, right about there is where he's going to be able to see it. And so there was just this really sweetness in that connection of him trying to help me. And then we decide we're going to embrace. It was like a decision. We're going to embrace. So we get up and we sort of like melt into one another. And it was this beautiful, full body, beautiful embrace. And what else? Let's see. You can tell. Oh, there was something about this was in California. There was something about, the body woman, she said, oh, I can tell that you guys are from the East Coast because of the way you arrange your furniture, like sort of in angles. Like I can tell you're not from California, she says.
That's very funny.
It was so funny. It was so weird. And yeah, so that's
great angles.
Yeah, like but how normal people would set up their couch, a couch and then the rug and then and whatever. To me, it looked really normal, but yeah, I guess Californians do it like different.
Yeah, I love it.
But so that's the dream, that's the story. Okay. And can I just riff on it, or do you want to ask me questions?
I kind of want to go in a semblance of an unpacking order.
Sure.
That's okay with you. I mean, sure. I see you bursting to this really wonderful dream to explore. So first of all, what would you title this dream?
Freedom.
Really?
Living in freedom.
And how did you feel when you woke up?
Great. I felt so happy.
Yeah.
Happy. I felt happy in the dream. When I woke up, I was just like, wow. Like that was so cool, that type of thing. And yeah, I felt like this sense of possibility.
Yes. Yeah, and now I feel like we can jump off pattern. I just feel like those are always the first important ones to answer, so we know where the dreamer is feeling pulled.
Yeah, I think that's really wise to do that. I like that.
So if you want to just go ahead and riff.
Well, I would like to say the next question would be the reality check.
Yes.
Right. So there are a couple things.
Okay.
The body woman was most definitely a reflection of a show that I'm watching, Outlander.
Oh, yes.
And so she definitely came right out of that.
Okay. I think I saw the beginning of that, but I haven't continued.
Yeah, I'm ensconced in it. I'm in the 5th season anyway.
Who wouldn't love the Scotsman?
Yeah, he's just their love story is what keeps me coming back. The rest of it.
So she reminds you of that.
So she reminds me of that, and I don't really think that there was anything much more to it,
Okay.
but she was the messenger. She was
A
the
little
one.
bit of day residue coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. She was residue. And I think she came through as
Yeah.
the messenger to say some things.
I love that. She was like, well, see, if this is the place for blah, 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 and here was, she's showing on her. It's very funny.
It was really funny. Yeah. It was really funny.
It reminds me of like a woman having her breast signed by a musician or something.
Oh.
It's like, which is not 18th century bodiness.
No. Yeah, but it was interesting that because, of course, if she's kind of like, maybe she's a prostitute,
Oh,
she's
yes.
in the house of ill repute, because she's got her, because they didn't have their breasts exposed in those days. They wore fairly high collared things. And so and there was that scenario in the show, in Waking Life, when I'm watching the show, there was
they went into a brothel.
Yes, where they went into a brothel and they were trying to get information from somebody, and there was a woman who sort of looked like that. So residue, but also something.
I love the messenger in this dream is coming from whatever memory of the show, or somewhere in your dream choreography, but when you choose the character, I can't even think of it. I'm like, oh, that's a job I could do, but now I can't think of the title of it.
Director?
No, the person who chooses who's going to play the parts in a movie or in a show. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
A casting agent.
So I'm so embarrassed because hopefully, well, here we go. So Californians, we are East Coasters. No, I'm just kidding.
True.
We put our couches differently. I'm kind of like, I'm feeling like the casting director in you, dream deep. If it's my dream, the casting director in me is choosing this character to teach me or show me whatever it is that I need to learn and see.
Yeah, that's an interesting exploration. Like what is that character to me? In certain ways, a prostitute is a prostitute, but there's a little bit of freedom. Well, certainly in those days of sexual freedom, it's not really freedom. They weren't free. They were bought, and had to have sex whenever somebody wanted them to. But they got to lay around and flaunt their breasts and wait for some. I don't want to wax poetic about that position in life,
Who's to say? It might have been a semblance of freedom, even in the, social, judgmental, bitingness of it all. Just to be at the brothels, to be free of all that.
They could talk how they wanted to talk. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have to sit a certain way or cross their legs or
have a drink.
They could have a drink. They were free with their bodies. In the brothel anyway, in that place, they could be free to be their sexual selves. They could put their foot up on the chair. They could say certain ththings. They could curse. You
could wear really
kind of
great costume clothing.
Fun clothing.
So I also have a clarifying question, if I may. I don't know where to ask that. I'm wondering, you're saying plots of land? What did you say?
Yeah, plot of land.
Plot of land. And then it's wood?
It's, instead of being like land, like dirt.
It's not grass.
No grass. It was just a big, giant platform that different people lived on, but we owned, I think we owned the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but we definitely owned our piece.
Sorry. I'm just trying to see it. No, it's on the water. Is it like floating on the water?
It's a little confusing to me. It's either like, it's almost like a dock kind of a thing, but it's much thicker wood. Like it's like this thick. I don't know, like 10 inches. So it's either like that, like right up against the water, or it's actually floating on the water. But I think it's like right up against it. It feels like it's just on water's edge.
Okay.
It feels like.
And one more question about that. And there's other plots of land, beside my plot of land, our plot?
Oh, it's just one big giant platform, like spread out along the shoreline type of thing.
Do you feel that the stream is in parts? Part one of the stream is the platform. Part two would be when ex-husband and I, where do we go? We go into a house?
No, there's no in. It's all out. It's
so
all
you
just
and ex-husband are just
we're in our plot. You know, it's basically divided by your furniture, divided by visible line. You know,
my God.
So you could just
get it.
See right, you know, right there, and there's, you know, there was the potter with the messy dark studio.
Yeah.
I didn't see any other people, but anyway, yeah, it's all open, and your space is just like divided by like maybe just a line on the, you know.
Somehow this is reminding me of every floor in the elevator is another community. Somehow there's something connected for me. That was the dream Ellen shared last podcast. So I kind of can picture that. You know what it reminds me of, I think, is do you ever see the show Weeds?
Yes, I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw like
what was the song in the beginning? Like,
I don't remember.
The
little ticky houses, the
ticky houses. Yeah. Somehow it reminds me of that. But what does that mean to you?
Well, that song to me is like all the houses are the same. They're all exactly the same. Yes. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. Yeah.
There was no houses.
There were no houses. This was the house, in quotes, yes. I say, for those who can't see me making air quotes. Yeah, it was our house. It was where we lived. And there were no walls and no roof. It was just platform, and we had our furniture set up, and it was really weird in a way, but it almost felt like we're having this adventure to live a different kind of life.
Yes.
Which is something that I, in waking life, have been wondering about. Like at some point, like I love the idea of a van that you can live in, little van, and traveling around and being able to put your van on some piece of the back of someone's property and kind of living there for a while, like a mobile home kind of thing. Like a lot of people seem to be doing that these days, like going from here to there. And so anyway, I don't know. I think that might be in the recesses of my mind.
Yeah. Freedom.
Freedom, definitely. And also I have a lot of fear about that too. It's like, because I think I'm a person who really likes to be rooted in like home. Like there's something about that. And at the same time, I'm so was going to say mutable. That's adaptable. Like I adapt. I mean, I adapted to living in this room. I'm adapting to moving in another small space. I can adapt pretty easily to new circumstances, but that there's always this deeper craving of wanting to grow roots somewhere. So it's just interesting that I had that dream that it was like we had our roots there, and maybe the roots felt like, the roots felt that I crave was in the relationship. It was in our connection. Our connection felt so dear and committed and rooted that it didn't matter that we were on this like wacky, no roof, like no protection against the elements, no protection against our neighbors. And it was all like, this is just going to be great because we're together. That was kind of part of the feeling of it.
That's beautiful. Yes. And if I'm looking at this figure that my ex-husband as a part of me, as we often do, because we like to explore that method, the Gestalt method. I'm wondering so if it's very important that I'm holding, it's a piece of paper so he can read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I'm holding it just where he can read it, there's something so intimate about that.
Yeah.
It's very silly, but wonderful. Has anything like that ever happened in your previous relationship?
Not that I can really remember. I think
Yeah.
it's more of a longing for that kind of intimacy, a longing for
Uh-huh.
kind of, we know each other so well that
Yes.
we can help each other in that sort of a small but important way. We help each other, see things or,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
because
the
yeah,
intimacy of everyday
anytime
living. Yeah, just the
any
intimacy of everyday living.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say is anytime sight is in a dream, I always want to look deeper because I think that's what it's indicating. We have to look deeper into that.
Well, so then if I may just riff on that theme. So what is deeper? Well, what we were looking at was an application of some sort to like an art program or an art training or to be an art teacher. And I'm thinking, well, that's pretty, pretty like the theme of the dream and the theme of the other dream that I'm going to share feels like possibilities. Like I feels like I'm in waking life. I'm moving. In less than a week, I will be in a new home. Yay!
Yay.
And it will be my own home, not a room in someone's house. So I'm terribly excited about it. And I do feel like it's opening up things. It's opening up possibilities.
Definitely.
It just feels like on the practical level, I'm closer to town. It opens up the options for me to go out more socially, to actually do the things I like to do without worrying about having to drive, a long way home and a long way back and all of that. So that's on the practical level, but also I can really feel that it's going to open other things up for me, like maybe the possibility of relationship,
Yes.
maybe the possibility of some new creative endeavor. So that the intimacy of like looking, like him helping me look at this thing, it felt so like there was no judgment, no criticism, no, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's wrong. Which is how it would be probably in my actual relationship.
If it was really him.
Really, no, he wasn't not that. I was more the critical,
Oh yeah.
critical one. I don't think he did not have that. He might have been, but not, that wasn't his main thing. But it's a reflection of me anyway, right?
Sure.
It's all me.
May I add something? I think that the deeper seeing that, well, first of all, at first when you said you were showing him the paper, it seemed like if I'm the dreamer, it seemed like I was saying an art class that I was wanting to take as a student. And then the second time you said that I was either teaching and I felt like, yes, that seems truer to me in my version of this dream, that I'm teaching this art class. And that's why I'm showing it to him. Like, if he's editing it or any interest to see what I'm doing, that felt right to me, that I am the teacher. I am not the student.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't sure in the dream, like exactly what it was, but it was definitely very possible that it was about teaching.
Yes.
Or, whatever it was, it felt like moving forward, like an advanced thing. It wasn't like something from my past way of art and creativity. It felt like something expanding. It felt like a new thing, whether it was me teaching or me taking some workshop or class that was going to expand my horizons in the world of art. And so that does feel really good. It does feel like, and also the thing about the pottery.
I was just going to ask about that.
Yeah, because that's also like the creativity in me. And interesting that the room, like, even though when I saw the neighbor's pottery stuff, I was like, oh, cool. Her neighbor's a potter and I'm a potter. And so like, that felt good. Yes. But it was very notable that the space was dark and messy. Like it looked like it hadn't been used in a while. And that absolutely comes from waking life where I haven't been in the pottery studio in a long while, like almost 6 months. It's been a long while.
Really?
And so in my mind, there's a little darkness about it. I have a longing to get back in, and I most likely will. But there's something in my mind that feels messy about it. Like I don't know how to re-enter, as this new person that I am, and the studio will have shifted energy and things will be different. So yeah, so I think that's
So
that's where I'm going with that.
It's like a little reminder to dreamer about, getting back to it. Is that what you feel?
Yeah, getting back to it and sort of clearing the cobwebs and just
yes.
Maybe, sometimes it's about like getting things in order, getting things in some kind of order first,
yes,
before you can go in. So maybe like turn the lights on, clear the cobwebs,
yes.
get the old, I just thought of some. Can you see all the pottery behind me right there?
Yeah, oh yes.
So that's the last thing that I haven't packed yet. And I have been putting that off like to the last minute. I don't know why, but I'm having like stress about packing it all up because I have to sort through a lot of stuff that needs to be like thrown out or given away, and so I think
please don't throw anything out. Anything that you don't want, can you please just mail it to me?
I can't, accept it's terribly expensive to mail it. Just
I will pay for it.
Oh,
Instead of paying for a new pot, I will pay for you to mail the pot. Yeah, please. I'm serious. I love pottery. I love eating from people's creative art. Yeah,
that's really sweet, and I do too. Actually, I love I love having functional, beautiful.
You don't need to. You just need a friend to come over with a pile of newspaper.
I know. It's just silly. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not moving that far. I don't have to pack it like really like as if we're
right
on a plane.
That's wonderful. I like that. That's what I'm looking for over here in Newport.
Yeah, I hope you find that. Yeah.
No, thank you. So you said you had another dream you want to work on.
Yeah, I just it's a quickie one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in a dark bar or performance, like a bar that has a little stage, and I'm with my friend Lydia, and she is about to get up on stage and sing a song.
Okay.
She's not necessarily a singer in waking life, and I was thinking, gosh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I can't wait for my friend to go on stage, and like I was really excited about it. And then she wants to show me like that she got like a wound or a bite or something sort of on her side of her hip. So she wants to show me. So she pulls up her shirt a little bit and she pulls her pants down a little bit by her hip. And I see that her entire lower hip and pelvis area is tattooed. I don't remember what it looked like, but I remember thinking, wow, it's so beautiful and so cool.
Wow.
And that's the whole dream. And just wow and cool. That's just what it was. Wow and cool.
I remember that you dreamed of Lydia not long ago. She was a character, but I can't remember which dream that was. With the daughter? Did she have the child? Well, maybe not. I don't want to.
She's been in my dream world. I mean, she's been in my life, my actual life for a gazillion years, like 50 years or something. Yeah, I don't know, 40 years, whatever, long time. Yeah, we've known each other since we were young teenagers.
Oh, okay, now I remember.
Like 13 or so.
Yes.
So we've gone through a lot of life together, and I was with her yesterday, and some things came up between us, and things that were difficult. It does
bring up caution for me. One of the things when we do the reality check, it's also good to look at, could anything happen? And the fact that her entire pelvis was tattooed and beautiful, I just think maybe she needs to go to a lady parts doctor, just for like a gynecologist, just to, I don't know. It's a beautiful thing, but it's such a vivid thing right around her pelvis area. Yeah.
Well, it's around her whole, like her hips and her thought, kind of.
Oh, wait, well, if you don't feel the urgency of it, I'm just saying if it was my dream, that would just be because it's so noticeable to me.
I guess to me, it just felt like, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Like sometimes, I'll have to think on that a little bit. My first reaction is I don't actually think that's,
I don't think so
meaningful, but I'm gonna think about that. But to me, it was very beautiful, and it was like decorating like the sensual, the hips and the thighs and the butt.
Reminds me of a
beautiful and sexy
belly dancer.
Decorating that area of the body, like this felt sensual. And also like she doesn't have tattoos
Okay.
on her actual body, and she's not a person, that's not her thing,
Yes.
so far. And so why am I saying that? I'm not sure why I'm saying that. Yeah. It
Yeah.
just felt like if I'm her, it
Yes.
felt like something. Oh, I know. It felt like an adventure. It's the same thing. It's that's the connection of the
Yes.
the emotion of the two dreams, even though
Yes.
they're not similar in theme at all,
Yes.
or in actuality at all, but in the like underlying is like possibilities and adventure.
The pulsing of what the dreams are teaching right now.
Yeah,
I love that.
the thread that kind of runs through of how it felt to me.
Yes.
It was like, wow, like she's gonna sing, how cool. She's gonna do something like
Yes.
adventurous and
Yes.
a little unusual for her. And like if I'm her, I'm thinking, wow, I'm gonna actually go up there and express myself.
Yes.
And that was the reflection. She's going to go express herself in this vulnerable and beautiful
Yes.
way. And it was like an adventure, and it was so wonderful. And it was and that she went ahead and did this whole tattoo thing, which
Yes.
also to me it feels like an adventure to have tattoos. I don't have tattoos either, but I always sort of like them sometimes.
I have one in mind. I'm trying to convince friends of mine who are also my age that, do you want to get a tattoo with me? No, I only have one tattoo. It's from when I was 19. So that was 1989. So it was back when the only people who had tattoos were bikers and sailors. And I was like, I'm so cool. I'm not really, but like I got a rose on my ankle. Now it's interesting when you don't have a tattoo, I feel like, in this generation.
It's true. It's true. So many people, really, so many people have. I mean, my sister, who's 2 years older than me, just got a tattoo like last year, but like a big one on her arm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's beautiful. But it's like, wow, she's just like, I want to do this. I don't care how old I am.
Good for her.
Go, girl. I know. I never got a tattoo because I couldn't decide. It was like, I changed my mind every 5 years. I was like, well, that's nice now, but what about tomorrow?
Yeah.
You got to live with it.
Totally.
So it's my lack of commitment. I have a hard time with commitment for sure about everything. Story of my life.
Well, that's a big one, to change your physicality, with something permanent.
Yeah, I maybe that's what, there was something to that. Like if I am every character in my dream and I
Yes.
am her in my dream, then I am taking risks.
Yes.
I'm taking risks to put my creativity out in the world.
Yes.
I'm taking risks to express myself in that way where I'm decorating myself and saying, this is meaningful to me and I like it and I think it's beautiful and sexy. And
I think what was cautionary to me was that it was a bug bite, that there was something on her hip that wasn't right, was itchy, and then seeing all that around her hips, I think that's what got me in that more of the caution place.
Yeah.
Which absolutely, 50% might be totally wrong.
Yeah, no, it's a great thought. And I think sometimes that can feel true. That it's like, oh, I think I better look at that, or if I'm having some weird division, and what does that mean? Yeah, that maybe.
I was thinking Lydia should do this. I should do this because I am Lydia. But I'll just also pay attention to my sexual health.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting too, right? Your reflection, and maybe there's something in it for you. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
I didn't have a strong sense of, wow, I better ask her about something, like, check in with her about that. Yeah. I did share the dream with her.
Oh, good.
I just thought it was cool.
That's great. And then she has all the information she needs.
She doesn't take things like that. I mean,
no, I know. I don't mean to be from the place of fear, more caution, just caution.
I hear
I'm not afraid something's going to happen. I just think this could be indicative, whatever.
Yeah, no, I think that sometimes, like we know our mutual, I wouldn't call her friend, but fellow dreamer, Wanda Birch, who wrote a book about her journey with her cancer, and that it started with a dream that she kind of had some sense of something.
Of like, yeah,
I
yes.
don't remember the dream, but I remember that it was she had a sense that something was off, and she went and checked it out.
And the doctors didn't see it. They couldn't find it with like a mammogram or whatever. And it was deeply beneath the breast tissue was a tumor.
And I guess
and that came a dream that came from a dream of her, and her you know, adamancy, is that a word? To see it through, to like not
right. She just
advocate for herself.
Yeah, she was really knowing something. And I think that's, to me, that sort of thing comes from yourself. Like if Lydia had that dream herself, that there's some kind of a wound there, maybe that would be something for her.
I see.
You know, that's just my thinking about dreams. It's like, if it's coming up for me that there's this image or like a sense or, you know, something, then I would be like, if it kept coming up and it was strong enough, I would probably want to check something out, but I wouldn't reflect that
at this point. I don't think it's necessary. Thank you.
Thanks for asking good questions. And so the themes for me feel like the possibility of like a kind of a happiness that I've been longing for. I mean, you know, like, like just possibilities of an intimate, sweet connection with somebody, possibilities of living a different way, possibilities of just feeling safe even when there's no roof over my head, you know, just feeling safe inside myself. Possibilities of new versions of creativity.
The windows are wide open. I can go to or through any one of them.
It's almost like because there's no wall to go through. That we're connected to everything. We're connected to the air around us, the environment, the clouds, the trees. We're all part of that. We're all part of it.
I've been thinking about this sweet, warm, gentle air. And you know, one of my spirit teachers in the dream life is my guy Wind. So I'm like, okay, I'm in love with wind, and I feel it through the air, and it's just.
I don't know about this guide. You
don't know about wind?
No.
Oh boy! Or I'll share it another time.
Okay, I look forward to that.
Okay, listener, tune in again. You can hear about wind. I'm not crazy. I mean, I do realize, because my physical life is so limited right now, and it's hard, you know, to go on a walk. I can't go on a walk at this point, but so I do, I guess, spend a lot of time in my mind, and I think that that's going to have to be okay.
I think it's beautiful. Tap into that deeper spiritual self and the creative aspects of things.
Keeping with metaphors, when one door closes, a window opens or another opens.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, definitely reflection on my move for sure. It feels like it is all a reflection on that. You know, the new things, the new options and possibilities.
Yes.
I feel like.
Well, thank you. I feel a new sense of, I don't know, hope, determination. I have a friend coming over in a little while to celebrate her birthday with her 2 little girls, her dog, and another woman and her dog. So I think it's going to be really fun now.
Awesome.
I was not feeling that way a little while ago. But I do now.
Right. Good. New options, new possibilities. Who knows what this gathering will bring?
Who knows? And
being
to
present,
be with puppy, to be with dogs is always a happy thing for me.
Speaking of not knowing what the moment brings, so I'm counting the Omer.
Okay.
Which is it's too long to explain at the moment, but it's something that one does in the Jewish religion. It's more Kabbalistic, actually.
It's between
Passover and, is it Shavuot?
Shavuot, yes.
Yeah. So it's 49 days, and each day you sort of meditate on a different quality. And so one of the things that was said last night in this meditation was, it's actually from Exodus. We don't know how we're going to serve God until we get there.
Oh,
that just really strikes me. And that feels like kind of what we were just talking about. We don't know what this moment will bring. We think about, oh, I don't really want to do this, or I wish they weren't coming, or I'm just talking about, your friends coming.
Oh yeah, I know.
Right. But it's like, well, maybe, who knows what will happen. And like,
I love many of these people. I love these dogs,
and it doesn't matter it just, sometimes we don't feel like it, but I'm just, and it's
no, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't really, that's not.
Can you repeat that again? No, you don't know how to serve God.
We don't know how we're going to serve God until we get there.
Doesn't it feel like
from Exodus? It's a quote from Exodus, of course.
Feels like it's just saying, just trust that you're on the right path.
Yeah.
And there'll be times where you'll really know it.
Yeah.
When you arrive.
Exactly. And you're right, being patient.
Yes.
Being patient with the not knowing what the moment will bring.
Yes.
Just be patient and open. And I say this for myself, for sure. And trust.
I'm listening. I'm listening hard.
For sure. I know, I actually wrote it down. I was like, yeah, that's meaningful to me.
Yes.
I'm going to really meditate on that one.
Well, thank you so much, Ellen, for your light and your dreams and your quest. I really enjoyed hanging out. And listener, I hope you did as well. So I think I'm gonna I'm sorry, like all this time using Zoom, and I'm still feeling a little bit like a novice. So hope you enjoyed. I hope you have sweet dreams. Holamod metukim.
Bye.
Okay, it's just me and you, kid.
It looks